New week. Got lots to do. Got lots to do this week. I have 2 Inktobers I'm going to do right now. I also have not edited the vlog at all. And I'm going to edit not last week's vlog, but the week before last week's vlog. Last week's vlog and this week's vlog. I'm just going to try and I'm going to try and hunker down and just do a lot of work like I used to back in the day. Back when I was super passionate about doing YouTube. Back when I, because I still really enjoy doing it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just going to try and get a lot done. So I've officially switched from the editing suite that I use to DaVinci Resolve. And let me tell you that editing this vlog is much faster because of a couple of its automated systems and conveniences that they have that Premiere just simply doesn't have. And it is making editing this a breeze. Now, I'm still pretty far behind. I've been doing the week before last vlog right now, and I have to edit last week's vlog as well, which I didn't do a lot of recording for. But ultimately, the main thing I really need to do is just edit the day's clips every night before bed, and that I think will be the next plan. I need to make a checklist for myself somewhere so that I can check off what I did that day, and just daily things like I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna be practicing music again, not right now, but I'm gonna practice music again. I'm gonna be editing YouTube videos and everything. I'm just trying to get a handle of my life. I want to get back into the creative space because I used to create all the time and now I don't. To do exercise days, but those are special days, like tomorrow. Tomorrow is chest day, so yeah. I'm fairly confident that I can accomplish all this. Alright, it's Monday. I worked out, just got home. Well, not just, I fed this little beastie first, but he refuses to eat. I would toil all day making him these pâtés, you know, by hand. I go out and hunt all the fish with my bare hands, and he doesn't eat them. What am I doing today? Today I finished editing the week before last vlog. I'm gonna edit last week's vlog, and I'm going to catch up on this week's vlog. And I came up with an idea, a feature that DaVinci Resolve has that I think Premiere has too, but the version in DaVinci Resolve is a lot easier to use. It's more streamlined, much more visible. It's because DaVinci Resolve has a timeline feature where you can have a single project have multiple timelines, and then you can edit those timelines together. Premiere Pro does this as well. It has the sequence feature, but the timeline feature in DaVinci is much easier for me to wrap my head around, just the way that it's designed compared to the Premiere Pro version. So I'm going to be using that. Each day will have its own timeline, and I think splitting it up that way will make it easier for me to edit every day. But before I do that, I am sweaty, I am stinky, I'm putting my son to bed tonight, so I have to shower before I do anything. And then I'm going to start editing. And after I'm done editing, I need to do 3 Inktobers, because I didn't do any last night or the night before, because I was distracted by other things. I spent all this time catching up, only to immediately fall behind, and that is my life story right there. Let me tell you, I need to get better about it, and that's what this vlog is for. It's a tool to hold myself accountable for the work that I do. Isn't that right, Boba? My good boy. Good boy. A little cutie patootie. Alrighty. So, I lost the little plate that goes here on this, for this tripod head. And I cannot emphasize how deeply this upsets me. I'm so mad about it. I've been looking for it for days. I can't find it. I could probably get a replacement plate. It probably exists, but I don't like it when I lose things. If I break something, you know, I can learn from it. But if I lose something, it's just gone, and it makes me angry. Is it in my camera bag?
No, it's not. I already looked in there. It's not in there. Why would it be in there?
I don't know. It's somewhere in this apartment. God damn it. Why do I always do this bullshit? Why do I always do this bullshit? I just made a little clip about how I need to find the plate, and I'm like, oh, I should turn on a flashlight. So I turned on my phone's flashlight to shine it down, and I find it instantly. It's right there.
It's right there. Look at that. It's picking up the flash from my screen because Apple's always monitoring you. It's right there. It's right. Oh, fucking God. Ah. My toes.
Did you knock it down there? You little shit. Yeah, I'm onto you. I'm onto you.
There it is. I found it. With the power of a flashlight, I found it.
So yeah, if you want some dad advice, sometimes shining a flashlight helps you find stuff. I don't know why. It's probably science. And somebody's home. So much recycle.
So it is late, and I have a lot to do. I'm tired, so I'm gonna go get some performance-enhancing drugs to keep me up. Getting caffeine.
Alright, it is 11:08 p.m. Let's see if I can get this vlog edited before 2 a.m. I also have to get the footage of this guy. Man, I'm tired. I'm glad I got the coffee.
It's 12:05 a.m. on Tuesday, and both vlogs are now edited. Time to hit render. Not only that, but I went ahead and edited all the footage that I have so far too. But it is way too late for me to start Inktober's, which means I have 4 Inktober's to do later today. Yay. I also have to record the voiceover for the last Inktober I did. But do I want to do that right now? No, not at all. I am way too tired. Okay. Oh, time for me to go to bed, I think. Wake up early tomorrow. Maybe I'll go for a run. Who knows? I lied. I can't go to sleep now. Because I have to wash the dishes. Dishes are washed and put away. Oh my gosh. Did it. I did it. I'm thirsty. I'm gonna have some water. And then I'm gonna go to bed. And then, later today, I have 4 drawings to do. Man, you're such a freak. Look at you. Look at you all snuggling up on my shoes and shit. Bro, why you gotta be like that, bro? Bro! It's time to go to work. Alright, I'm back from work. Spouse made me some dinner. It looks simple, but it is delicious. Like, really good. I've been looking forward to this all day. They are upstairs with my son, with the neighbor, who is friends with my son, which is good. I am relaxing. I had a kind of rough day at work today. But, as I mentioned
the other day, I have a ton of Inktober drawings to do. So I'm gonna try and figure out some way to do them all tonight. Hopefully. That's my goal at least. I'm also gonna have a drink today. I'm gonna make a Long Island iced tea, hence why I bought a Coca-Cola. I'm not gonna drink all this Coke. It's just gonna take one of these for the Long Island iced tea. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of them. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Alright. I'm trying to think of what to do for this Inktober drawing. It's armadillo. I have no ideas. Okay. So, armadillo is the next one. I did a really raunchy one last time. Like, way raunchier than any of the other ones that I've done so far. So I don't want to do a raunchy one with this one. But of course it's armadillo. And all I can think is armadildo. And just a dildo with little arms holding a gun. No, there has to be something better than that, right? Every Halloween I listen through the shitstorms of scariness that the Super Best Friends Zaibatsu did. I try to listen through all of them. I rarely ever actually get through all of the episodes, but that's what I'm listening to right now. I'm trying to think of what to do for armadillo. Am I just gonna draw an armadillo with a gun? No. No. Why? Why? This is all I can think of. What's the next prompt gonna be? Next prompt is foul. That's another one that I can't think of a good one for. There's also salty and then scrape. Those are the 4. I have armadillo, foul, salty, and scrape that I have to do. Can't think of what to do. I was planning to have a drink anyway, so maybe the drink will help inspire me to think of something. I'm making a Long Island iced tea.
Jeffrey Morgenthaler calls for 2 teaspoons. So, yeah, try something. But while I was thinking that, it changed a little bit. And I got something that I thought was just very, and I'm still having it, I guess. Jersey Sunset, which I did on the show, and I'm trying to remember, I think very good lifelong friends, and I'm from New Jersey, so there's a long-standing rivalry between New Jersey and Long Island, so I kind of wanted to lean into that a little bit. Really, truly, it's silly for New Jersey and Long Islanders to, when we have Staten Island between us to meet up on. I mean, that place has just got to be swallowed up by the sea any day now. Go shoot the next episode, because that's what I'm going to be doing.
Didn't quite nail it. When you nail it, this tastes just like sweet tea. I didn't quite nail it. It tastes a bit too much like Coke, which meant I just needed a little bit more ice. It still tastes really good though. It's still very strong. Is it giving me inspiration? Who knows? Clock's still ticking, we'll find out. I guess I could draw a logo. I haven't done that. I haven't done that for Inktober yet, and that's something that I did do for a while. I used to be obsessed with drawing logos. Maybe I'll draw a logo. I think that's the best I can do. I'm gonna draw an Arma 3 logo, but with an armadillo instead. I don't want color. Alrighty, I didn't record anything yesterday because I had to wake up early today because of we had the Intel lunch at work, which was very uneventful because nobody showed up really, which was pretty funny. Today I have to do 4 Inktober's. I didn't get anything done last night because I was putting the boy to bed and I just fell asleep and I just stayed asleep. What do I want to do today? I don't know. I have to cook rice. My spouse cooked dinner tonight, but did not cook any rice, so I need to cook rice. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Oh, I gotta edit yesterday. I gotta edit a little bit. Probably do that. I got the 4 Inktober's to do, which I might not be able to get to today, but that's okay. I have tomorrow off. I can do it tomorrow. What else? What are you doing up there? You silly little bastard. That little bastard. Anyway, alright, so by surprise, my son was taken from me by my in-laws. He decided he wanted to go to their house. So, he's there, which means I don't have to watch him. Which means I don't have to cook rice until later. Because I'm not hungry. So I can do work. Alright, my computer needs to update. Right now I'm downloading updates for some video games first. And then I need to restart my computer. And yeah, I guess I will do at least 1 Inktober after I update my computer. And then maybe edit after that, and then maybe do another one. We'll see. What are you doing, you silly cat? Silly kitty cat being silly. Maybe I'll make some progress on this guy. I don't know. I kind of want to nap. I am tired, but I don't want to nap for too long. I only want to nap for like 20 minutes at most. Figure it out. I'll figure it out. Alright. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and do the next steps in the workbench build. I want to do that. I don't feel like I can concentrate on a drawing right now. This is bugging me so much. All I can think about. So that's what I'm going to do. Of course, in order to do that, I do need to kind of clean off it, as you can probably see. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do right now. So I do need to do a camera setup because it has been 4 months since the last clip where this thing is recorded, and I've had a haircut and a lot of things have changed in here since then, so I kind of have to address it. I can't just not address it. So I need to set up my other camera, my new tripod that I got. I got a new tripod that is much nicer than any other tripod I've had. The tripod that you're on right now is actually not a tripod, it's a microphone stand, because that was higher quality than any other tripod I've had before, and this camera that I'm using for the vlog is light enough where I can use this as a tripod for that camera. Go ahead and set up do the setup, and I'm gonna record it to kind of demonstrate how much longer it takes to build things when you're shooting them and filming them than if you're just building them yourself. Alrighty. This is a really good little tripod here. My only issue with it is that it's not very tall, but you know, it is what it is. It was only $100 new, and I got it used for $40. So you just gotta, you know, deal with the fact that it's not the best thing in the world already, and I got it used. All right, and now I have the camera set up in kind of an interview style right here, and so the autofocus on this thing is not the best, so I manually focus most of the time. But now it's all the way over there. I don't have a good way to actually manual focus too well because I don't have any kind of prop I can use for myself. Thankfully, I've decided I'm going to sit in this chair, so if I get this chair in focus, I should be in focus, right? And now I'm going to introduce the next part of this, the next scene. So that's what I'm doing next. Alrighty. So now I'm going to start recording, which is this button. Alrighty. It has been 4 months. Can you tell? Yeah, things are looking a lot different now. Both here and around here. Still haven't finished the workbench yet, but that's about to change. Well, I just have for this video, part 1 of the workbench build. All I need to do now is trim the cross braces on the bottom here, but near the legs. Then I need to add the casters. And the reason why I'm adding the casters next is because the main thing that has been keeping me from finishing this project has been the mess that it's going to make when I attach the tabletop to the base frame. So I'm going to be doing that outside at my parents' house. And so what I'm planning for that part is I'm planning to kind of overlay the parts I'm gonna film, which today is gonna be trimming the plywood cross braces down to size, and then I'm probably going to add the casters tomorrow because it's late. So that's what I need to get to next. I also need to get some pickup shots of the room, of the workbench, and of the cross braces. So that's what I'm going to do tonight in probably like 20 minutes. Because I need some water, I'm dehydrated, and gotta get that squared away first, and then I'm gonna get to this. Alrighty. Making progress. Alright, I got done when I needed to get done with the workbench tonight because it's really late and the next couple of steps are gonna make a lot of noise. So I'm gonna wait to do those until tomorrow. I have vlog to edit, so that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna edit yesterday and today's vlog. Or like episodes, I guess, or days, you know, because of how I'm doing it. DaVinci Resolve makes it really easy to edit this vlog, actually. A lot easier than Premiere, so I'm fairly confident that the next few vlogs are actually going to come out on time. Alrighty, it is Friday, and last week I made the mistake of trying to do laundry on Saturday, and it took forever because all the machines were being used. So today I'm going to do the laundry Yeah. And caffeine has not kicked in yet. That's for sure. I gotta do the sheets for both beds and clothes. And as annoying as it is, I understand why people use up so much of the machines, because if you put in too much, they start to catch fire, which, yeah, it's not great. So when I'm doing both sheets and clothes, I have to do them separately. There's just no other option. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna get that started now. Beds are made. Now it's time to put the laundry that I put in the wash in the dryer, I think. Alright, I got the laundry out of the laundry room. It is all clean and in the bedroom. Right now I have to go over to my parents' house to help them with some wall and electrical work. So that's what I'm doing now.
No.
What are you doing?
Okay.
Alright, so I was gonna work on my workbench yesterday. I was gonna work on it today. I might still be able to work on it today, but my mother is recruiting me for some more work on her home. And so that's what we're going to do. Isn't that right, Carmelo?
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to go do. And we'll see if I record anything else today. Who knows? Alright, I'm back home. I'm cleaning up a bit, actually. I just finished sweeping and vacuuming the floors. And I got some new hearing protecting earphones with Bluetooth, so I can listen to music or carpentry videos while I do my work. These are not replacing my really nice Sennheisers, because the Sennheisers sound way better, so I'll still use those for casual use, but these are for when I'm working on loud things, like I will be on Monday when I install a pot rack onto this concrete wall with a hammer drill, which are really loud. That's why I bought these. Alright, just got up from my nap. I have to do dishes, and I have to cook chicken. So those are the two things that I'm gonna do in the next hour or so. Alrighty, kids away with the in-laws. So let me tell you what we're gonna do here. We're gonna make some chicken! Chicken! I'm gonna turn these breasts into meals. So I'm only gonna need 2 breasts for my lunches for work. So those 2 are gonna get cooked today. And then the others, however many there are gonna be frozen for later. Now, when I freeze them, I'm gonna season these slightly differently. So these 2, all of them are gonna get some adobo seasoning, right? I have a pre-made pack of adobo seasoning right here that I need to use up. All of them are gonna get this seasoning. However, the ones I'm gonna put in the freezer, I'm also going to be adding honey mustard to, because we make honey mustard glaze, or not honey mustard glaze, but honey mustard chicken is a regular thing that we have in the O'Neill household. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour some honey mustard chicken, or some honey mustard, into this bag, and then I'll toss the adobo seasoned chicken breast into this bag, mush it all around, and toss that in the freezer. And it actually works out really well. I'm gonna butterfly all the chicken breasts to make cooking easier. So I'm gonna do that first before I do anything. I'm gonna season and toss these in the bag, and then I'm gonna season and cook the 2 breasts I'm gonna need for my lunches. So yeah, that is the plan. That is le plan. I'm trying to figure out ways to film in this kitchen, mostly for videos for recipe review on the main channel, because I want to do more recipe review videos, but filming in this kitchen is annoying as hell. I actually have 2 adobo seasonings that I might combine, because this is almost out. So I might combine it with this. which has a very different ratio of spices. I can tell because this is white and this is red or brown or whatever. The first step here is to open the chicken. I'm hoping by the time I'm done manhandling this, the parts I'm gonna cook are gonna be warm enough to cook, like up to room temperature. We'll find out. Now it is important to hone your knife every time you're gonna use it, because every time you use your knife, it rolls the edge over a little bit. It makes it a little bit duller than it could be. Now, I actually do need to sharpen all of my knives, including this one. But that will be a YouTube video where I attempt to sharpen all my knives. You don't have to hone it for very long. Doesn't take very long to get that edge back. Now it's important to note that this is not actually sharpening your knife. It's just it's taking a edge that's been rolled over and straightening it out again to make it a beast at cutting again. So how many do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breasts. And I need 2 breasts for lunches. I think I'm going to take the 2 biggest ones, because that needs to cover 3 days worth of meals. So I think those are going to be for me. And these 3 are going to freeze. I'm going to butterfly these first. So all that is taking your breasts, taking your breastises, and just finding, and then you just cut it. Oh, look at how smoothly that cuts. You know why it cuts so smoothly? Because I honed that fucking edge, baby. You cut it, and then some people are fancy, and they keep it folded down on the knife, but because that gives them a smoother cut, but I like to do it this way, just to make sure that I'm cutting it as far as I can without going all the way through. And look at that. Not only does it give you a nice flat edge to put on the pan, it also thins it out, which means it'll cook faster at a lower temperature, which allows it to retain more of its juice. And with breast has very, very little fat in it, so it doesn't have a lot of juice to begin with. So it is very important to maximize the juice retention ratio. I don't know if that's a real thing or not. I'm just making shit up, honestly, to explain why it's a good idea to butterfly your chicken. Butterfly your chicken! The breastises are butterflied. So now I'm going to rinse off my hands and to get all the chicken gunk off of me, because I don't want to cross-contaminate. And I'm going to clear this out of the way. And I'm going to season these in the container just because reducing dishes. I'm just going to put a big bow honkin' dollop in here. Just a big ol' bow honkin', just a lot, because I need to season a lot of chicken with it. Alright. And I'll actually probably go ahead and put oil in it as well. Just some canola oil, because oil is the key to the meat being introduced into the flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and add some oil to the bag as well. Alright, so now I'm going to handle the meat with my right hand and the seasoning with my left hand, but because I'm just dumping it in here and I'm just going to kind of move it around, I'm just going to, just going to pour it on there. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use up the rest of this. And then let's see how the coverage is, and if I need the second bottle, I'll use the second bottle. I really like breast, especially has like no flavor, so I really want to season the shit out of these, And see, yeah, that definitely was not enough. I used up the rest of that can. See, yeah, I got a whole frickin'. So I'm just gonna add more and just. Yeah, that's the red part of the other seasoning. So I'm just gonna add a shit ton of paprika to this as well. And this is what's great about cooking as opposed to baking, is you can kind of just, you can just kind of, I just want to add some stuff. Who knows what will happen? Whereas with baking, you need to be way more careful about what you're doing. Like, all cooking is chemistry, cooking and baking, but with cooking, meat is actually really forgiving. And it's not until you get to like really fancy meats where you need to be really careful with it. But like meat like chicken and salmon and steak, as long as it's not like a really as long as it's a basic cut of steak, like a ribeye or something like that, like something basic, or a New York strip, you really kind of can just slap shit together. And as long as you understand that how to cook and not completely just dry out and overcook the meat, it'll taste pretty good. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and put these in my marinating bag here, small pieces. There we go, because I need these two big boys for my lunch. Alright, I'm gonna go quickly wash my hands. Alright, stop. The camera stopped recording without me realizing it, but what I need to do is agitate the chicken so that every crevasse, every millimeter of this chicken is just covered in the sauce. The quick honey mustard sauce that we made with honey mustard dressing, oil, salt, and pepper. And, yep. And the adobo seasoning base just adds an extra layer that I do think is important. The last time I made honey mustard chicken, I made it like this, and it tasted really, really good. Not as good as how my spouse makes it. Quick. Let's get some salt on there, because the salt enhances the seasoning. So if you're using a pre-made seasoning, I find that they don't quite punch me as hard as I want them to, so I still just add a little bit of salt and pepper. Now I'm just gonna flip it around and wash my hands again. You really do need to wash your hands a lot when you're cooking chicken or any kind of meat, really. You really do not want to get it on surfaces, because the stuff that's in the juice, the stuff that's in the meat juice, lasts a long time. Here's my one weird trick to reduce the amount of smoke produced by cooking meat. Firefighters hate it. You oil the meat and not the cooking surface. Just oil the meat. This still has a little bit of warming up to do to reach a temperature where I can start cooking it. Plus I need to go ahead and turn on the cast iron skillet and let that get up to heat. And I need to wash my hands again. So, see you in a second. And here you can see one of the downfalls of an absolutely tiny kitchen that is smaller than a cash register kiosk. This is smaller than my cash register kiosk at work. This kitchen is absolutely infuriating. So the stove is covered right now with stuff. And that is why next week I'm putting up a hot rack. Because I'm sick of this. I want an empty stovetop when I'm cooking my stuff. Alright. We got this, skillet is up, should be up to heat by now. I have it set to the higher side of the medium. You want it to cook, you still want to get a good sear on it, but you still want it to cook thoroughly, so it has to be a high enough temperature to sear the outside, but not so high that it'll burn the outside before it's cooked through. And usually I find that the higher side of medium on most stoves is good. My stove is garbage and cheap because it's an apartment, so it's incredibly inconsistent with the temperature right now. But you know what? It's fine, because I'm going to be here cooking, I'm going to be watching it, make sure everything goes well. Alright. So now I take it, put it on the flat side down, and remember I pre-oiled this meat, so I just, ooh yeah, that's the sound you want to hear right there. Alright. Unfold this guy. I probably could have cut into the second one a lot more than I did, but it is what it is. Alright, so while the meat is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and defrost these frozen broccolis. I just follow the package instructions, which is in a microwave safe bowl. Pour out the broccoli. Broccoli is really good for you, so if you're going to be eating a frozen vegetable, I recommend broccoli, because broccoli is really easy to cook and make taste good. So, take the broccoli, and the packaging said to add 2 tablespoons of water to it, which I'll go ahead and do. And we just toss this in the microwave. It's set for 6 minutes, stirring once, so I'll put it in for 6 minutes, and I won't stir it. Alrighty. Because I don't feel like it. Binging with Babish, this is not, let me tell you. So this is starting to smell really good, and I can start to see some of the white color showing the cook creeping up to this other, creeping up the side here. It's about halfway up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check to see how that bottom side is doing. Ooh, that's got a good sear on it. So this one, I'm definitely going to flip over this one. Now, these chicken breasts are slightly different thicknesses. So, they will likely not cook at the same time. Yeah, see that one, this particular side could stand to sear a little more, so I'm going to hold that there for a minute. Now as you can see, because I did not cut this one quite right, a little bit sticking up, so I'm going to have to be sure to cook that part deliberately in a little bit. It's at this point, actually, once I get the first flip, that I like to cover these over. Cover these up. And I have a stainless steel skillet that's the same size as this cast iron skillet, so we use the same lid for it. There, it's been a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and check. And see, covering it up turns it into a bit of an oven, so this part did get cooked a little bit, and it just means that I'll have an easier time cooking it through. Alright, and so I double checked this using the Google machine, and chicken done temperature is 165 degrees. That's when you want to take the chicken off the stove, and go ahead and measure the chicken on that breast right there. Now you really want to get into a meaty part of the meat. So it's currently at 107, so it's still got some more time to go. Let's see this guy. This guy is a little smaller in parts. And so there are parts of it that are going to be cooked, and parts of it that aren't. See, this is 116, 115, but this part's 144. And so that means that, especially with, unless you are a master at butterflying the breasts, there are going to be parts of it that are going to be a little bit drier. And that is okay with me. Alright, so we now know that broccoli is done. It's done cooking. It's not like cooked, but it's mostly thawed. So at this point I can drain it. So I use a mesh sieve. It's much better for draining these than like a pasta thing. And I'm just going to drain it out. If I lose 1 or 2 small florets, that's fine. I'm just going to put that right back on top of the bowl. And I'm just going to set it aside to be used later. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and check on the chicken again. Look at that. Look at that. All that smoke not escaping because the smoke fan in this apartment doesn't make any sense. Because it's to the left and not even that far above the stove. Which, if you remember, hot air rises. So it's practically useless. I'm gonna make a fucking smoke extractor that I can hook up to these. Alrighty. Oh. Alright, 164. Alrighty. So this guy's done. We can take him off. Alright, and a small trick that works with all meat I have found. You'll often see this recommended when cooking steak. Is once you take it off of the heat source, you let it sit and covered in aluminum foil. Bada bing, bada bing. And that allows the meat to reabsorb the juices. Now typically with steak you would actually take it off 10 degrees before, or I think it's actually, no, it's 5 degrees before you're done temp it. That's usually because you're undercooking steak a little bit anyway, and this will raise up the final temperature by a few degrees. Not by a lot, but by a few. This isn't steak, this is chicken. I do not care. I'm just being extra safe with chicken because of some bad experiences eating undercooked chicken. Not nearly as bad with steak. Alright, and he is ready. Okay, alrighty. He's ready to come off. We'll go ahead and kill the heat here. Let this cool down a little bit. We're going to go ahead and stick this guy under the foil as well. We're going to let the skillet cool down. And then we're going to do something extra special. Alright, so I'm going to leave the skillet and meat alone for about, I'd say 10 minutes. Let it come down in temperature a little bit and let the smoke clear out a little bit. Yeah, because even that little bit of smoke, if you see here, my smoke extractor is here. And the smoke goes here. So this doesn't help at all. So I keep it on to try and do something, but it really doesn't. I really need to fabricate a solution. And I have an idea. I need to get a non-induction fan, and I'm going to build a shroud around it. I'm going to make it so I can open up the cabinets here, or the pantry, hook into the bottom shelf here, because these are actually pretty flat right here. Hook it in and have the shroud come out here so that it can absorb all that smoke. Of course, that would make it very difficult to film in here. This is just not a good kitchen for filming. I really want to continue my series recipe review because I like the concept quite a bit. But, you know, it's hard. I'm going to go get my cat. He is upstairs playing with his friend. So I'm going to go get that cat right now. Alrighty. Alright, Mr. Boba, come with me. No, that's the wrong way. Cat. Cat is... That, no. No, you come. That's the... Oh, you little... Oh, you little escape artist. Little bastard. Okay. Okay. And jump. Alright, this guy's down in temperature. Alright, so now we're going to turn the heat back on and turn it all the way down to a higher side of low. And then we're going to do something extra special. The extra special thing is we're going to deglaze this pan. What are we going to deglaze it with, you ask? Just a little knob of butter here. Not a lot. This is a good amount. A little bit of butter isn't going to kill you as long as your cholesterol is at healthy levels. Now, we'll take our broccoli and cook it in the same pan with all the butter and all the meat bits. And this will add a little bit of color to the broccoli. It'll cook it, sear it, and make it taste good. Now, this isn't perfectly deglazed. Right, so not all the bits are coming off, but because we used butter, a fat, a lot of that flavor is going to come into the broccoli and make it taste meaty and adobo-y and chickeny. There we go, and I think that right there is good enough. All you need is just a kiss from the skillet. Just especially since these are going to be going into my work lunches, which means these get frozen anyway and then cooked again. So yeah, that was how to make chicken breast and broccoli. That tastes good. Also, I forgot to mention that I have rice in the fridge that I'm just going to scoop into my bento boxes. Alright, so we're done cooking. I've already packed up my lunches. So next you gotta clean off the skillet. And I found the easiest way to clean up the skillet is to get it back up to temperature on high. And then just pour water on it. And then boil that water. And that'll get a lot of the gunk off. And then you just dump it out and then scrape and then like scrub off whatever's left. Alright, so this week's over. I got stuff done that I wanted to get done this week, which is good. I didn't make the progress that I wanted on the workbench. I should probably pause the Geometry video, shouldn't I? Probably. Okay, so what's it called? I made some progress. I just gotta take some time. Probably on Monday. I have the day off. There it is, the workbench still. I still have the vlog to edit, to finish editing as well, but I think I'm gonna wait for that. It is almost midnight, so I think I'm gonna spend some time researching some kind of like checklist app on my phone that can sync with Windows. So yeah.